Alright, welcome to One of G Archives here on YouTube. This is First Impressions Volume 26. This episode we're going to be checking out Mortal Kombat II Arcade for the Sega 32X. And let's get started. Well, as you know, in my last episode, I did the first impressions for the Mortal Kombat Arcade for the Sega Genesis. Well, this isn't definitely going to be an upgrade in terms of graphics and among other stuff. We're going to have a look at it and see how it goes. Now, I am going to be using, unlike the one on the Genesis, I can actually use the 6-button controller on this one. So this is, again, we are playing off of original hardware. So yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and let's dive into this a little bit. Leave everything here the way it was. I'm just gonna leave it on the default settings. So let's just have a look here. We're gonna try with Shang Tsung, I guess. Okay, so far it kind of sounds like just the Genesis version, but we'll see. Okay, it's definitely playing different already. It's definitely playing a little bit differently than I'm expecting, than I'm used to. So I guess maybe they changed up the movement of the characters or something a little bit. I don't know. This works. All right. Okay, they actually, okay, that's different. See, now I'm trying to compare this a little bit to the original 32X version of Mortal Kombat 2. And I can tell you right now, just from the first battle, this is definitely a little bit different. Definitely has a little bit more of a Genesis feel to it. And I would say and the 32X and the 32X version actually was probably one of the better home console versions, if not the best, my opinion. But this definitely clears up some stuff on it. They got the scream down, that's for sure. Because I can tell you from playing the 32X version, just the original 32X, this is not, it didn't sound quite like this. So it's definitely with sound improvements for sure that you didn't have before. Okay, that was rather quick. Okay, that kind of plays a little bit like the arcade should. I mean, it looks beautiful, don't get me wrong. I think it looks fantastic. In terms of the sound, I don't think so. They could have definitely done a little bit better with that. They could do that on the Genesis for the arcade. I mean, see, why do you need the body parts to kind of go all over the place and just disappear? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I don't know why that happens. Okay, that's right on. Have a seat, sir. Stay there. But no, overall so far though, it's been pretty good. There's more animation in this, although I will say when you're flipping backwards, some of the characters that had their animation was cut. Darn it, I knew he was going to do it too. Your soul is mine. I said again, this is playing off the 32X, so off the original hardware. So you can tell that it definitely looks a lot cleaner than it would on the Genesis, the standard Genesis. Okay, the one thing I do have to complain about is the jump kick into the foot sweep. Definitely does not work the same in this. You actually have to step a little bit further in order to get it to actually connect. That doesn't, and it shouldn't have to. It seems to bounce them back a little bit further when you jump kick them. But all the animation is there, which is really nice. Yeah, it's a lot of, because that's the one thing I have to say about the 32X. It had that still had the Genesis base to it. So a lot of the sound effects and everything that were part of the Genesis and everything, all that's going to carry over into the 32X. It's not going to, you're going to get upgrades for sure when you're like playing games, but it's not going to be. Okay. Sometimes that's all you can do. But overall, this isn't bad. It's not. It's. I want to say in terms of overall like looks and everything. I don't think that. I mean, I like the way it looks and everything. The sound effects were definitely not on par. I mean, they're better, but they're not. They're not. They a lot of them are just the same sound effects as the Genesis version, which is kind of to me is disappointing. But they added like the screams and stuff. That actually was pretty spot on. I don't know. I just little things like that. It's they could have made the sounds a little bit better. To me, it was just an upgrade graphics for the most part. At least like in the Mortal Kombat one I did for the last first impressions, that sucker was way different. I threw that way too late. Okay, that is spot on for in terms of the sound effects. Okay, compared to the arcade, that was excellent. Okay, they're forgiven a little bit, just a little. So we're just gonna do one full playthrough. Just as I said, this is just the first impressions, more or less. Yeah, her recovery on that's a little bit quick. Yep, she should not be able to do that. Because in terms of the gameplay, it's a little bit sped up. Oh, come on, really? Wow. All right. So that's how she's gonna be. Try this again. Sometimes you just gotta trick the computer. Not quite how I want to win, but you know. Oh, that's not what I did. Wow. I was actually holding block on that third one, but whatever. She wants to play cheap like that. That's all these fighting games are. Oh, that was mine, lady. Oh, she's not letting me do anything. Where's mine? Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Oh well. This is a lot of like the same sound effects as the Genesis one. Wow. She's definitely moving a lot quicker. I'm not used to this. Not to this type of movement. Just kick her while she's down. Why not? Knew that was coming. Yeah, a couple of little frames of animation missing from that too. From the Deadpool. That's okay. So I think the original 32X version was the same way. Especially when the characters flip forward and backwards, there is definitely some animation missing. Ah! Oh, darn. I knew I shouldn't have fired that second one off. That was my own mistake. Oops. I paid for it. Alright, I'll accept my defeat there. Oh, so he actually does use his teleport in this. Oh, that's new. Gotcha. Try to sneak it past. Let's try to sneak. Be a sneak. There we go. He doesn't like that apparently. No, no way. Oh, come on. I was the spear was already past me, bro. I had to go back and I don't recall those sound the screams being the same as this particular version of it. Oh, I should have known that was coming. Wow, he threw those pretty darn quick. Okay. Oops. No, that never happens. Alright then. So the only thing I do wish, like, it wasn't until Mortal Kombat 4 that you could actually choose the alternate color for the characters. Guess he doesn't like that happening. We'll just play it that way. Play cheap. Yeah, not liking me this time. Alright. Wants to play difficult. It's not, dude, I'm not even changing into her. See, that's the thing I can't understand with the computer. It's like, I'm already past you, and you're jumping straight up, and you're still nailing me with a jump kick. And that's just the way that the computer is with this version, or with just this, an MK in general. It's like, I don't get how that works. Like, I don't get the logic behind that. It really does not make any sense whatsoever when that happens. Okay, so they got the little jade hanging out in the back there. There's smoke. I think if I did that right, I think I got this. I should get the hidden battle with Jade. Nope, I did. Okay, cool. That's one way to do it, I suppose. I don't know if that's the way it was in the Genesis version. I haven't played this thing in like forever. Yeah, the computer recovers. The recovery in this is really ridiculous for the computer. It does not work the same, at least that I've tried so far. Guess that's the only way you can beat her? I don't know. Whatever. That's kind of weird that the fan throw toss is not even her arm isn't even the whole way up. It's like, oh, it's forward. And any other version her arm's completely up, and this one she's not. Okay, whatever. And then okay, so you can't choose which character you want at that point. All right, got it. Dude, serious dude, what the hell just happened? Seriously, I mean, you can't throw him that fast. Fine, I too can play this game. You can play cheap, so can I. Yep, I knew it. I say the music isn't as booming on this either, nor that's one of the things that I've always kind of enjoyed about the Mortal Kombat series is generally the music has been always like loud or louder, I should say. Nope, I wasn't gonna escape that one. Ah, why didn't he? I was trying to change back to Scorpion and I kept pressing up up and he didn't morph. No bueno. Oh, no way. That's not what I did. No, that shouldn't have happened. Ugh. No, we're gonna finish it with him. I don't care. Like the only thing I can think of to beat him. If you time the spear right, you know, like I just did, then you can actually get the extra hits. But oh, I was just out of range for out. That was beautiful timing. Look at that. See, if you time your uppercut when he comes straight down, you can actually nail him. But it's really it's almost like perfection when you hit it. That was too close. Not too shabby. I will lose that battle. There it is. I mean, overall, I think this is a pretty decent version. I don't know if I would recommend, owning a copy of it or something. Maybe just to give it a shot or something. But I would be perfectly happy with just this standard 32X version versus this one. Maybe even the SNES version as well. This isn't bad, but when I did the Genesis version of Mortal Kombat Arcade for the Genesis, I think that that one was much more improvement. It showed much more improvement rather than what this one did compared to the 32X. Other than it made the sounds real maybe a little bit crisper or cleaner, but the music it wasn't really bumped up. It still kind of felt like the Genesis version of it. Maybe it's the graphics cleanup and stuff too. Um, but anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little playthrough of Mortal Kombat Arcade on the 32X. this ROM hack. But just to remind you that you can check me out at facebook.com/oneforsakengaming, twitch.tv/oneforsakengaming, Instagram, and of course right here at 1FG Archives on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.